Well, what do they think about our current state in society?
That's a deep question.
Welcome to LTU's Pass It On. This is a game where students create a chain by asking and answering each other's questions.
Can you get any questions?
No question is off limits, so things can get out of hand pretty quick.
All right, what's the best movie you've watched in the past year?
Oh, it was this thing called Dead Man's Shoes. It's like this, it's a British movie, and like, it's crazy, it's worth checking out. Especially, it's like about like special needs kind of, and it's worth looking at. Who would you vote for? Or are you thinking about voting?
Oh yeah, of course. I'm actually going to go vote. I live in Maryland, so after class ends, I'm going to be heading over to vote in my state. Yeah. How important do you think voting is for the younger population?
I think voting is as important for our generation as it's been for other generations. I think that when you are in a country that historically has disenfranchised you, whether or not you can vote, I think you have to question what role voting plays in that country. I also think that we have to be very aware that the changes that we want to actually see don't come with a vote. It comes with us actually taking action in our own communities and rebuilding our communities and getting back to our culture. So how important is voting? I think voting is important for those who believe that they need to vote. I think activism in this day and age is more important than voting because activism actually stirs change, and activism is what can actually unite people in countries outside of the United States. So when we vote, we're voting inside of a country, but what we really are asking for is a world movement where people are being given their human rights and where Black people are starting to get back to our one identity before this terrible experience of being brought to the Americas happened. So I always think that voting can either be a good thing or voting can actually be a way to pacify people. So if you are going to vote, know why you're voting, who you're voting for, and what you want from that person, or else voting is just voting. We'll be in the same position that we're in right now 30 years from now. So if you could travel anywhere in the world, where would you travel? And what types of people would you want to have conversations with? And about what?
Either Zimbabwe and Kenya. I really like their culture a lot. And I would mostly want to stay with, like, I don't want to say the original people, but basically the people who have been inhabiting there for a really long time, just so I can learn more about my culture. What was the third question? Like, what is it that we're doing wrong as like a whole like generation, as a whole group, that we seem to keep climbing up, but it's always like it's not enough, that we have to keep going. What's like making us like just be like stagnant in a way? It's like a lot of things. We got the first Black president, but then we get Trump, who's like saying stupid stuff about like our people and like other minorities, right? Do you believe living life with no regrets is the best way to live your life?
Absolutely not, because if you have no regrets, that means you're not learning, and if you're not learning, you're not growing, and growing is a part of life. So if you still remain stagnant, then you ain't going nowhere. The major or minor that you're into right now, are you going to use it in your career? Are you going to use whatever you're studying for your passion? Because that's what it's really about. Like, are you going to be happy working and doing the job that you're doing, or are you just doing something to get by or doing something to get to that next stop? Like, is the path you're on right now leading you to where you want to go?
It's a good question. I'm a marketing major in the School of Business, so I believe wholeheartedly that I'm doing everything that I'm supposed to do. I love business and marketing, and Howard School of Business is perfect, so I'm right where I need to be. What made you want to stop and take the interview?
Well, honestly, I like answering questions. And I was like, you don't look bad today, Genesis. You could do a little something, and I'm anything to not go to class. So, yeah, that's why. So what's the question I could ask the next person? Well, what do they think about our current state in society?
That's a deep question. What do I think about the current state of society? I was talking with my partner. I feel like it's like a 50-50 right now. I feel like we're more open than we were, like 50 years ago. But I feel like at the same time, we got to deal with more, because it's very, as open we are now, like we subject to seeing a lot of stuff. So society, I feel like we making progress, but at the same time, it's like it's a lot we gotta get done, and a lot of stuff that is like being that open is like stunning at a point in time, because there was a time when we didn't know what was going on over there. Now we know everything that's going on, so everybody got an opinion on everything that's going on now. So yeah, I'm cool with society, but we still got some stuff to work on. If you weren't in college, what would you be doing?
I don't know where, but I would have to have a job doing something. Like, if you won the lottery, what would your money go towards? Like, would you spend it all on yourself, or like, what would you do?
I think I take care of myself first and my family second, all together. And then afterwards, there's various amount of things and social issues that I'm aware of and I'm very concerned about. So I will find a way how I can contribute to those things afterwards. But me and my family first. I would ask, what do you think your purpose in life is? Yeah, not necessarily what you want to do as a career, but what do you think your purpose to this world and to people is?
I think my purpose in life is to have like an overall positive impact on whoever I meet, and just like to help people that like I come across. This is hard, man. Cause like I was thinking about asking the same question that they just asked me. So my question for you is, if you could meet one person, dead or alive, who would it be?
I don't want to sound cliche, but there's a really good reason behind it. But Beyonce, because she like inspired me at like 2 years old to decide that I wanted to pursue music. What is your staple item of life? Just like, it don't even need to be for college. Just like, what is that one thing that you got beside your phone that you have to have with you at all times?
Headphones. Yeah, headphones. What is the biggest L you've taken all week?